So the Microsoft Surface Laptop Studio 2 is one of the best laptops out there when it comes to two-in-one laptop configuration, meaning you can use this in different formats. You can have it in tablet mode, stage mode, laptop mode like we've got in front of us. And I think Microsoft are one of the best people that do this in the way that it transforms as well. So it's not flimsy, it's nice and sturdy, which is really good. In fact, this is dropped in price at the point of this review, but if I was to be reviewing this, say, when it actually came out, the price point where this came out wouldn't have been worth it in terms of comparing it to your competitors. So like the Dell XPS competition on the market, for example. This is a 14.4-inch laptop, LCD display. It's 2400 by 1600, 201 ppi display itself. It's got 1080p Full HD webcam on the front that supports Windows Hello as well. It's a very nice laptop. This is running on the 13th gen Intel Core i7, which is the 13700H processor, and you can configure it up to 64 gig LPDDR5X RAM, and also this starts from Intel Xe graphics, but you can also configure it to have the RTX 4060 GPU in there, which is what this one's got, and configure it with up to 1 terabyte of internal storage. So this one in front of me has the full whack in terms of everything you can actually get for this, and the price point, like I said, on this, we'll leave all price on the screen in case it changes again by the time this actually goes up. It's actually in line with the likes of the Dell XPS now. I still wouldn't say it's comparable with your MacBook M2 or the latest 14-inch MacBook Pro, just because I feel like those perform way better than this does, depending on what you're doing though. You can also configure this for another version of NVIDIA RTX for those that want to do some extra sort of graphics works, but not so much of video editing and all that kind of stuff. In terms of the design, I think it's fantastic. I love the finishing. It's got this anodized aluminium finishing on it, which is very premium. It attracts a lot of fingerprint here and there, but I've had it for a bit. I can't spot any scratches on here. The front screen is Corning Gorilla Glass 5, so it's actually quite strong. They'll still use their proprietary charging cable. I don't know when they'll ditch that, but actually it's fine. It's designed in a way that easily just detaches from the laptop, so if you were to just stumble over the cable, it just detaches and it's nice and safe. In terms of the ports, we have a 3.5mm headphone port, which also doubles up for your headphone. We have a micro SD card slot on the right side as well. It's a shame it doesn't come with a full SD card slot, which would have been nice. And then on the left side, we have two USB-C ports. This supports Thunderbolt 4. You can charge from there as well, connect to external displays. And now they've added a full USB port, which is really nice. But the thing is, if you're going to add that full USB port, USB-A ports, by the way, it would have been nice if you added a full SD card slot as well. One thing I love about the design is, even though this is quite thick, they've designed it in a way that you don't really see that extra layer on the bottom of it. So if you look at it, it's kind of like staggered where the fan and the speakers are. So that way you don't really see it. So when you look at it from the top, it just looks like a flat laptop, but actually it's got this raised layer right at the bottom of it, which is quite smart if you ask me. And then in terms of the way that you can configure this, so you can actually just push the top layer like so. You now have this mode where all you have is your trackpad and the screen. So this way you can demo stuff, or if you just want to watch films and stuff like that, you can do so. While I'm looking at the screen, there's a bit of bezel on here. It would have been nice if we have less bezels on here in this day and age. That would have been nice. And then you can just go all the way down as well, which then makes it into tablet mode. Then you can hold it like so. This actually weighs around 2 kilograms. So if you're going to be using this as a tablet, it's not going to be the most comfortable to hold in hand like this, especially when it starts to get warm, because once you start doing graphics intensive stuff, this is actually kind of warm now on the bottom area there. You can also just have it a bit lower, so you can like start drawing on it. It supports Slim Pen 2 as well, so you can draw on it right away, write notes and stuff like that, which is really cool. One thing is, over time as well, you can start to hear the creaks in this hinge design as well. It's not doing it so much now, but sometimes it kind of creaks, which can be worrying. When it comes to durability, again, I think the lid itself has a bit of wobble, but not a lot of wobble compared to some other laptops that I've seen out there, because it's not so much top heavy. So that's not a massive issue there at all. So that's really nice. But I think generally in terms of design though, I think it's a really smart looking laptop. It's got a nice keyboard on it. It's one of the best keyboards to type on. The travel on there is really nice. The trackpad as well is very responsive, very precise. So when it comes to using it for graphic stuff and moving around stuff, then that's cool as well. When it comes to gaming, you can game on here as well. It's running at RTX 4060 on this particular version, which means I can run games like Apex Legends on here. And that graphics card can also handle things like editing videos. So when it comes to Adobe Premiere, there's no issues at all. It's just nice and smooth. You can scrub the timeline very easily. And I'm editing my usual test video, which is a 4K video from a Sony a7S III camera. So in log format as well. Exporting is nice and quick as well. when it comes to battery life, you're looking at around 7 hours, which is basically all day battery life. I personally don't want to be working longer than 7 hours before I put my laptop away anyway. So I think that's pretty good. But I think right now it's actually a laptop that I can recommend for someone to look into if you're looking for a two-in-one laptop, or just a laptop in general that's powerful, because this configuration is now on par with your Dell XPS, for example, because Microsoft has slashed the price at the point of this review. And it's Intel 13th gen, I understand, because now the Intel 14th gen is available, which has its own built-in AI capabilities. But what Microsoft have decided to do with this one is have their own NPU on there running alongside the Intel CPU in there, which then means you can do some AI stuff like Copilot. You can use the webcam to track you and stuff like that. And it's okay, it's not bad. But hopefully the next generation of this will be running Intel Core i7 14th gen, which then means extra power in terms of AI and all the new AI features that will come with that as well. But I think that's pretty much it for me for this laptop. I think it gets a thumbs up from me. If there's any issues with it, it's the fact that it gets warm sometimes, but the warmth comes when it's basically doing graphics intensive stuff. So everyday stuff like typing away and stuff like that, it doesn't get hot very quickly. But other than that, it's heavy as well, 2 kilograms. Yeah, that's a lot of weight. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below, and we'll see you guys in the next one.